Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm your host, John F. Thomas. Welcome to the Real Review. We are going to talk about a long movie, a very long movie. Good Lord. Zack Snyder's Justice League is what we're going to talk about. But before we get into that, please hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. Subscribe to John F. Thomas. That's my YouTube channel, my Facebook page. Hit the notification bell if you're on a YouTube channel so that way you can get the notifications when I go live. And also leave a comment. Let me know what you think. You can put a comment in right now to let me know what you thought about Zack Snyder's Justice League. But before we get into any of that, I want to hear this song.
It's the real review. It's the real review. It's the real review.
It's the Real Review, everybody. Hey, again, I'm your host, John F. Thomas. Again, please hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel or that you like John F. Thomas on my Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram at JT Slimcutter. You can follow me there. And, I have this up there as well. I talk about a lot of different things, but we're going to get it popping because this is going to be a review for sure. So, because I'm reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League. I already saw Josh Whedon's theatrical cut of the Justice League, and that wasn't well favored by a lot of people. And, it was fine for what it was, but overall it was rushed. There was a lot of things kind of left out, and for good reason, because, there's a lot of information. And honestly, WB overall has tried to rush their DC property to keep up with Marvel, which you shouldn't even try to do that anyway, but it is what it is. So without further ado, like I said, I'm going to reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League. This DCEU movie stars Ben Affleck as Batman, Henry Cavill as Superman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Ray Fisher as Cyborg, and Ezra Miller as The Flash, and supporting cast along with them. This entire review is a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen Justice League and you want to watch it before seeing this review because you don't want anything spoiled, I suggest you come back later after you watch it. Then you come in here and see if you agree with what I'm saying. If you disagree, I definitely want to hear your thoughts. And let's just go ahead and break down this story because, like I said, it is a lot. So let's just get right into it. All right. So the first thing that we see in Zack Snyder's Justice League is the Superman Doomsday fight with Batman and Wonder Woman in tow. They're nearby. Superman was stabbed by, I guess Superman stabbed Doomsday with a kryptonite spear and killed Doomsday. Doomsday stabbed him with his spike, and Superman started screaming, I guess, in this one. I guess Superman screamed in Batman v Superman. I don't really know, but like before he died. But in this one, he's screaming, and we see the audible waves this time. So it's just the yell of death that Superman is giving. So it's going out. We see it, a long oscillating yells of pain coming from this, echoing throughout the earth, all over the world, and they start activating these mother boxes. And we remember them seeing them from the first Justice League, right? So all the mother boxes, all three of them across the world, start activating in response to Superman dying. Because I guess now Earth has no protector. The Earth's savior, protector, ultimate protector has died. That activates the boxes. So this notifies Steppenwolf to come like, oh, okay, well, since the mother box is activated, I know where to go to try to take over Earth because these were left here before from Darkseid, so trying to take over Earth. And I'll get into that. And again, the reason why the mother box was activated is because Superman died. And they all of them start shaking. So one mother box is in with the Amazonians, where Wonder Woman is from. Another mother box is with the Atlanteans, kind of where Aquaman is from, because he's half human, half Atlantean. and the third mother box is with the humans, with humanity, somewhere with the humans. So all of this is happening. So the first place that basically Steppenwolf now arrives is Darkseid's minion. He comes to the Amazonians, where they have it, guarded. They don't know what's going to happen. They're afraid, so they're guarding the box. They would love to attack the box if they could, but they can't because these boxes are indestructible. So they're guarding the box. Next thing you know, a boom tube appears, and Steppenwolf appears, and he just starts like, I'm going to get this mother box. Everybody starts scrapping, and it's actually this goes as normal as with the Whedon cut. So there's nothing too different from that, and well, except for the intro with Superman, they reiterating showing that. So now we see Steppenwolf fighting off the Amazonians, trying to get this mother box. They're keeping it away from him, and also I want to note that there are some buff Amazonians here, and let me see if I can share. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me go back. Let me backtrack a little bit because I want to share how. Remember, I was talking about Doomsday and Superman fight. This is Doomsday. This dude is ugly. He looks like the ugly Ninja Turtle Michael Bay version. You know what I'm saying? So let's not forget. I will go ahead and state that I was not a fan of the bringing Doomsday into Batman v Superman. I was also not a fan of Lex Luthor. That version of Lex Luthor, it's like Lex Luthor Jr., a bootleg baby Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker in a sense, or something like that. I didn't like that. None of that. The Superman Doomsday fight, it was okay. It was rushed, but that's another story. I'm talking about Justice League right now. I'll get into all of that later. But ugly Ninja Turtle, crusty, I need some lotion on my face, Doomsday. Michael Bay Ninja Turtle Doomsday. So that's what that was. All right. So getting away from that and going into the Amazonians, like I was saying before. So Steppenwolf was fighting, not talking. He was fighting the Amazonians, and some of them were looking really, really cut and buff. I will hand it to them. Let me see if I can find that one shot that I thought was like really cool. That kind of showcased like how cut the Amazonians really were. Let me see if I can pull that up. Give me a second. Boom. Okay. So y'all see that? Now look at this lady's muscle. All right. Wow. Look at it. That's bigger than my arm. I mean, I work out, but good Lord, that is a buff Amazonian. She looks like she can defend her. I mean, an Amazonian from the comic book. So that only makes sense. So she's really bad, and that kind of calls out one thing that I kind of ignored a lot. One of my friends used to say that they didn't like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman because Gal Gadot looked like she don't even hit the gym. And I was being defensive. I was like, hey, I'm in defense of women. And this was a woman that was saying this. But I was like, hey, what about, women can be anything. They don't have to be buff. They don't have to do all of that. She can be Wonder Woman without the muscles. And she was just like, no, because in the comics, Wonder Woman is not saying she's like as buff as Superman or Batman, but she has muscle. She's in shape. She looks like she works out, like she can defend and be the strongest Amazonian out of all the Amazonians. So I was just like, yeah, I was defending it. But after seeing this film, and there was one Amazonian, she like swung, like a hammer or something to knock down to create a wall, to have one of the walls come in place to stop Steppenwolf from entering into, trying to get the mother box. And I was just like, man, just that arm in itself, when she was swinging and knocking that wall down, I was just like, wow, she is buff. And I was like, man, you know what? I hate to say it, she's right. She's right. Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman is not, I mean, especially standing next to like Ben Affleck and standing next to Henry Cavill, Jason Momoa, and it's just like she looks like her arms are sticks. Just being honest, her arms are sticks. And I'll get to that later. But I'm just want to point out that I finally agree with my friend, even though I've been trying to defend Gal Gadot, but in this movie I can't, because looking at these Amazonian women, they're muscular, they're strong. You could have gotten anybody to play as Wonder Woman, but that goes into casting. I'm not going to touch on that right now. But I just pointed that out. Anyway, so they're trying to fight. I mean, this is like kind of like behind the scenes. What they, you get a good behind the scenes thing of Zack Snyder's stuff and them fighting Steppenwolf. So that's kind of cool. But going back to just the regular Amazonian women, they're fighting against Steppenwolf, and Steppenwolf did not come to play. He wants that mother box, and he will not stop by any means to get that mother box. And so he is like really going in, beating everybody up. He's ugly. He has these weird spiky skin thing. I don't know what they are, but they're kind of alive, and it's like his armor is alive, which, I mean, I would complain kind of about that, but at the same time, he's an alien, so who knows what aliens look like. So, hey, whatever, it works. So he's just beating the living crap out of everybody, killing Amazonians here and there, left and right, and he finally gets the mother box. They put up a really hard, valiant fight, finally gets the mother box, and they shoot off like an arrow to warn Diana, Wonder Woman, like, hey, the end is near, the end is nigh. So they're trying to give her that warning. Wonder Woman is off somewhere, and she's stopping crime because there's like a school trip at some bank, and there's some people who are just some bad guys, and they're trying to stop. I don't know. They're trying to do something. I don't know what they're trying to do. Change the world, whatever kind of bad reason they gave. And Wonder Woman, is there to stop him. And it's a decent film. Like, it's pretty cool. I mean, there are some scenes that were nice. Anyway, I'm gonna just go straight and so she stops them, and then she ends up getting the nope. That's wrong. I didn't mean to share that. I'm sorry. I'll share the right thing here. But she stops him, and I wanted to point out there was like this one girl that was just sitting there, and she was just like, oh, what's wrong? And the girl said, I want to be like you when I grow up. And it was supposed to be sweet, but it just felt forced. It felt, and I want to be you when you grow up. And one of them was like, you can be whatever you want to be. And I was just like, I mean, I guess. Also, going back to what I was saying earlier, remember when I was talking about the muscles? Now look at this. This is just, it's just a stick. It's just an arm. Like she couldn't be working that. Now, out of all these actors that are given these roles and they work out and they do all this. Now, this is a still, granted, this is a still from Wonder Woman in 1984. But regardless, they work out, they get in shape, for whatever roles. Gal Gadot looks like she has done nothing. Ever since she's been playing Wonder Woman, she hasn't done it. She is pretty thin. She's a thin woman. And it's glaringly obvious in this movie. It just looks bad. Regardless. Going back to the very cheesy moment, I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to be, like, oh, women, you can, female empowerment is great. But I just felt it was really cheesy the way it was written in there. It's like it could have been a smoother way you can go about doing that and still get that message across. I just felt like it was forced. Just let it be natural. Why do you have to force this thing in there? Just like, you can be anything you want to be. And it's just like, well, duh, you're Wonder Woman. And I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, so, they put that little preaching moment in there. So whatever. Anyway, she ends up seeing the signal later on, and she's in the museum. She goes to try to figure out, like, what's up? What's this about? And she ends up seeing, learning the history of, what happened prior to. So this goes back to how the mother boxes even got to Earth. And it kind of shows where it's just like, Zeus, I think Zeus was there. This was like maybe a millennia ago. And this goes back to the scene that I meant to share this earlier. So I think there's some Amazonians, like basically Darkseid has shown up. And this is where it kind of deviates from the Whedon cut, because in the Whedon cut, it showed that it was Steppenwolf that came to Earth, and Zeus and Ares and the Atlanteans, the Amazonians, a Green Lantern was there, and humans were all fighting to stop Steppenwolf. And so, which, all of that was cool, but now it's Darkseid, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. Now we see Darkseid instead. So Darkseid is like handling business. Those are his ships in the background that you can see. He has his parademons. They're out there, and then this is all out war. And he basically has the three mother boxes all connected together. They're synced. They're about to basically destroy the Earth, and they're trying to separate them. So while it's a whole fight and everything, and they're just really going at it. It's crazy. It's wild, and ultimately they ended up stopping him. So, and I was just like, man, that is very impressive that they end up stopping Darkseid. So they stopped him. Somebody put an axe to his shoulder. Maybe it was Zeus. I don't know who. And he gets carried off, and he leaves the mother also. But he finds out while he's there, there's this thing. There's some runes that kind of show up on the ground. It's like an anti-life equation that he's looking for. And he just like, oh man, this is what I've been searching for this entire time. Is here. He's not able to really accomplish his goal because he got pushed back by Earth's warriors, and he retreats. So they take the mother boxes and they separate them. So the humans, they end up taking their mother box and they go and take it somewhere and they all decide like, hey, we'll all protect all these mother boxes. So the humans, the Atlanteans, the Amazonians, all of them have mother boxes. So they try to protect and encase the mother boxes in some stuff and all this, and everybody like protects it and does whatever with it. The humans, they just dig up a little dirt, it's not even that deep, maybe like 4 feet or 3 feet, and they just put the box in there. They look down at it as if like, that's enough. And they ain't even try to really hide it. There was really no real attempt at hiding. They were just like, yeah, look, we did enough. Like, all right, Barry, let's get out of here. So they going about their business. I think long story short, with the history of that, the Nazis end up finding it or something like that. They found that mother box, and then it ends up falling into I guess the US's hands. They're some of the top scientists, and so now it's back in the US and something like that. So so Steppenwolf now, he has the mother box. He took the mother box from the Amazonians, and he's on his way to try to find the other mother boxes, and he's trying to he doesn't know where they're exactly at, but he's trying to figure out. And also this kind of goes back to the reason why I guess the mother boxes now have woken up is because Superman, the savior, is gone. And my best friend, he brought up this interesting point where he was just like, well, if Earth's protector is gone, what did they do prior to Superman even being there? Like who was there? And I was trying, well, you had other people protecting it. And then he was just like, yeah, but nobody like Superman. And I thought about it. I was just like, oh, wait. So if Darkseid killed Green Lantern, because Green Lantern is supposed to be one of the strongest superheroes that protects like this sector of the cosmos or whatever, they killed that Green Lantern. I don't know where that ring went. Also, they showed the ring fly off, and like Darkseid almost grabbed it, but it just flew off somewhere. We don't know where the ring went. What happened from that Green Lantern to, is there a Green Lantern now? Is he just not doing his job? Like, I don't know what's going on. There's no context in that. So, I mean, we're getting more context, which is cool, like a little bit more now, but we still don't, but that had me think, because I was just like, oh man. So I'm like, well, you had Wonder Woman, and now I don't know if Aquaman wasn't, available to protect it yet. I said, you had Wonder Woman, but then I was saying the thing, I'm like, wait, but logic says that, okay, well, Superman is dead, Wonder Woman is still there, so why did the boxes activate if Wonder Woman is still potentially there to protect Earth? So Wonder Woman wasn't the protector. And then if there's no Green Lantern, he killed the Green Lantern. And I mean, the box woke up, so clearly there's no Green Lantern to protect Earth. Who was there to protect Earth? Why didn't the boxes activate even before Superman was here? Plot point. So that's kind of like an issue. Like, hey, Zach, I see what you're doing, and it's cool. It's a little rushing. You're rushing. You're not really thinking everything. Like, does this entirely make sense? But I digress. So, all right, just wanted to point that out so everybody can be caught up with what I'm talking about. All right, so we go from that to, because I just want y'all to know that doesn't make sense. But we go from that to the intro of Batman now. Well, not Batman, Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is riding into this land on a horse. And it's a very long, drawn out kind of like sequence. And it's just like, man, okay, all right, he's riding a horse. Can we just get to the point? And it's taking a while, but we finally get to like, oh yeah, okay, Bruce Wayne, he's showing up. He's trying to convert over Aquaman, to his side. And everything basically kind of plays out the same as the Whedon cut. And the only thing that's different in this time around is that, of course, Aquaman says no. He takes off his shirt, which is, why does he need to do that? I don't know. But I mean, I know why. It's just like, oh, sex sells in a sense. So he takes off his shirt, gratuitous man chest moment. Let me show off my muscles. And I'm going to dive into the water and tell Batman no. So he dives into the water. And then one of the most peculiar and odd things that I saw was the people were standing outside, watching this entire interaction between Bruce and Arthur, aka Aquaman. And this woman behind Bruce just picks up his sweater or shirt or whatever that he took off, and she sniffs it. And while she's doing that, some women start singing. And so they just start singing some ancient song, I guess. And the whole time, just like, okay, what does this mean? So they over there singing this song. And as you can see, the women in the background, they're back there singing too. If you can really see what they're back there singing the songs, and she's sniffing his sweater like a freak and a little pervert, and she starts singing too. So it goes on for, it feels like 2 minutes. I don't know. It's just a long sequence where they're just kind of like singing, and I'm just like, what is the point of this? Like, okay, let's just move forward. This is a 4-hour movie, man. And let's get through it. Come on. So they do that, and I guess Batman is just like, all right, whatever, man. I'm going back home. So he leaves since he wasn't able to convince Arthur, because Arthur's just like, man, I ain't doing that. I got enough stuff to worry about. That's y'all fight. It ain't me. So Bruce is basically at this point, like, goes home and talks to Alfred, and I'm kind of disappointed in this Bruce. He just like, I guess I'm gonna try to look for the Flash, but he ends up, I guess Wonder Woman ends up meeting with him, and they talk, and she catches him up on the whole dark side thing, and he gets kind of lazy. I feel like this Batman in the Snyder cut is a little bit lazier than the one in the Whedon cut. So, and we also remember Batman was kind of lazy in Batman v Superman. Like, he's supposed to be a world-class detective, right? One of the world's best detective outside of Sherlock Holmes. So he doesn't detect, or he doesn't find any of the other Justice League members. Lex does. And it's just like, how does Lex isn't a detective, really. I mean, he's smart. He's a really smart guy, but he basically stole information from Lex and happened to stumble across these other beings. So he didn't really do any detective work. He just, he just got lucky, and also, I mean, he found Arthur, so that's a little bit of detective work. He found Arthur, but he didn't really feel like going after Cyborg, so he told Wonder Woman, like, hey, and she was like, oh, maybe I can help out with that. I can find him. Like, all right, cool. So he's still kind of looking for the Flash, and he's just kind of lazy at this point. Also, another difference from the original, the Whedon cut to the Snyder cut, is the first movie. Well, the Whedon cut, it opens up with Batman finding a parademon, right? He traps a parademon, he gets it on the roof, and this is a dope opening sequence because he's a Batman in full form, and he's taking on an alien. Like, this is crazy. And he tries to ask the parademon, like, hey, where are you from? And the parademon disappears, and that's dope. And that does not show up in any way, shape, or form in this film. Also, just a quick pause for everybody that's watching. If you're watching, please hit the like button and comment. Let me know what you think so far. So this does not show up in the Snyder cut. Batman doesn't catch a parademon. You don't see Batman be dope. Actually, you don't see Batman really show up until the 2-hour mark, like 2 hour and 5 minute mark. It takes 2 hours and 5 minutes for Batman to finally show up. This is crazy. But I'm going ahead of myself, but whatever. Okay. let me get back to where we're actually at. He asked Wonder Woman, to help. So Wonder Woman, she goes and finds Cyborg and asks him for help. Cyborg initially turns it down, but eventually later on he agrees. Batman finds Flash, and Flash immediately agrees, but also before then, actually it's kind of cool because we get like backstory of Flash and we get a backstory of Cyborg. Flash's story, we see him with his dad, which we saw that in the Whedon cut, so that was cool. What we don't see is Flash saving Iris because he runs into Iris as he's going to apply for a job because his dad was telling him like, hey man, let me go. I'm sitting here in jail. You're wasting your life trying to go after criminal justice or whatever Flash was trying to study in school. And Flash is trying to take on odd jobs to try to get some money so he can go through school, and which is cool. It's admirable. It's like, hey man, my dad is innocent. I want to free him. So, his dad is trying to sway him away from doing that. Just let me go live your life. You have more important things to do, bigger and better things to do. So Flash goes and tries to get a job at a pet store. And he sees Iris walking out, which a lot of the audience probably doesn't know who this person is, but this is Iris West, potentially Flash's love interest, which like I said, the regular audience member wouldn't really know that, but you're like, hey, this is a cute girl. It's somebody that he likes. That's all they kind of really know. So she gets in a car and she is almost killed by not a drunk driver, but a person, a hungry, non-attentive driver. He drops his sandwich and he has a big truck and he smashes the crap out of Iris's car. She flips in the air. She got a drop top, so there's nothing. She ain't got a seatbelt on, so she just flies out of the car. Flash sees it, zips out. He doesn't even open the door. He just breaks the glass because I guess he's still trying to get understanding of his powers. Breaks the glass. The whole glass is shattered of the shop that he's trying to get a job in, and he goes and saves her. And he saves her. He looks at her and she sees so she wakes up out of this fast moment and sees him. So all right, that's one thing I wanted to point out. So she sees him like, oh crap, how did I get here? I almost died. And then he's basically looking at her, then he zips away. So at that point, this person knows that you have powers. So I just wanted, and also that kind of points out, man, Zack Snyder, it's kind of a problem I have with him. He just rushes certain things. He rushes relationships, like with Superman and Lois, that was rushed in Man of Steel. She immediately found out who he was. They immediately just start talking. There was no kind of build up to that kind of growth in me getting to understand why they care about, why they love one another so much, why that relationship even works. We didn't really get that. With this, I mean, it's cute, and this still can work for the Flash. I mean, and not to discredit what Zack's doing, but just to kind of showcase that he kind of rushes things. This Snyder cut is adding a lot of context, which is great in comparison to the Whedon cut. But Zack Snyder rushes a lot of relationships and certain things where you do lose the context overall. So that's kind of like the issue I have with Zack Snyder. He just kind of rushes things sometimes. And but anyway, so we get to see that. That's really cute. At first, when in the Whedon cut, I didn't really like Flash, but in this, Flash is still kind of annoying here and there, but it's very endearing in a sense. He's goofy and kind of, this isn't really the Barry that I know, because this Barry is just odd, but he's still endearing though. So I do like that about this Flash. And then we go to see Cyborg. So now we see the Cyborg has the mother box in his closet. He just got it in a closet somewhere, and he's really torn up about it. Cyborg is going through a lot. And I will definitely credit Snyder for this, man. This film gave a lot more backstory to Cyborg because we didn't have nowhere near as much backstory to Cyborg as we have now. And so definitely kudos to that. Actually, it kind of sucks that Ray Fisher kind of got screwed, with his stuff being kind of cut out in the Whedon cut. But I'm glad that he got some shine here, which is great, man. And well deserved. He did a good job for what everything he was given. So, but we get to see, he was at the football game. His mom's there. He's a star football player. He wins it for his team. Hell yeah! Then he looks up in the stands his dad isn't there. And so his dad is too busy at his job being a scientist for the U.S., I suppose, nanotechnology, I guess. And he's upset because it's like, man, this is my big moment. My dad isn't here. So his mom's like, don't worry about it. You know, your dad loves you. Does he? Does he love me? And while they're talking, they get hit by a car because the mom isn't really paying attention because she's trying to console the son. So mom dies. It's such a bad car accident that they were not able to save the lower half of Cyborg. His entire lower half is gone. So it's just his upper body basically. And his dad is so torn apart that he's like, no, I lost my wife. I'm not going to lose my son. So he takes the mother box and he kind of charges it to help bring his son back to life. He's like, I got to do something because otherwise the son was going to die. And that transforms him into this, which is he's now mostly machine. And so now Cyborg has not only lost his mother, his father lost his son's respect. His son basically hates his father at this point. You should have just let me die. I came back. I'm like this. I'm not even really human. I don't know what am I. I'm more machine than human. And then on top of that, it was, you know, he doesn't have. Let's just be real. He doesn't have a penis. Like that hurts a lot of men. I know probably there's some women watching this. It was like, what does that matter? Why is it means a lot. It's your manhood. I would be torn up too. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I'd be beside myself. Like, well, man, what am I? I don't even have. Could I at least have my manhood? I don't even have that. What am I gonna do? I want to talk to a girl. Hey, girl, I can treat you nice. I can hold you. I can hug you. Maybe I don't know. I might hurt you if we try to do something in the bed. But you know, it's too much for him to think about. It's a lot. It's a lot for this kid to think about. His life and career is over. So he's trying to cope. His dad is trying to connect with him. He doesn't want to connect. He gives him like look, I know you don't want to talk to me, but he gives him like a tape recorder and he sets it down. You can talk to him like that. So he listens to a little bit of it until his dad is like, okay, now I want to talk to you as a father. Crushes the tape. I don't want to hear that crap. And so he goes on about his business. So like I said, Wonder Woman ends up finding him and he tells her like, yeah, leave me alone. I just want to go solo. But she's been solo for a while and she's like, yeah, it doesn't really work. You know, so you need a team. You need people to care about you, and we can be there. So anyway, that all, man, this is a lot. Man, this is 4-hour film. I'm trying to wrap this up as fast as I can. This story, goodness gracious. So meanwhile, while all of that is happening, Steppenwolf, we get more backstory on Steppenwolf. So this is different than the Whedon cut because Steppenwolf was just this. I want to take over Earth, and that's it. But in the Snyder cut, we get to see that he actually betrayed Darkseid before, and basically he's trying to prove to Darkseid that, hey, I have worth. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to try to usurp your seat, usurp the crown. And basically he challenged Darkseid and he lost, so he was banished from the Apocalypse, the world of Darkseid and his minions, and you know that they're from. So Steppenwolf is not welcome to Apocalypse. But in order for him to get back in Darkseid's good graces, he has to conquer 50,000 worlds. And so he's talking to Decide, who is like basically the second hand to Darkseid, and because he can't talk to Darkseid directly anymore. And you know, this gives a lot more context to Steppenwolf, man. Makes you like, oh, okay, so he's just not this thing. He's just not a villain. It's just there. He actually has an arc. He actually has a reason to why he's trying to conquer Earth so badly. Like he's stopping at nothing to conquer Earth. And it makes a lot more sense now. So I appreciate the context that Snyder was able to give in that. So that was really cool to see why he's going after these mother boxes. And the next mother box he goes after is the one from in the Atlanteans, with the Atlanteans, how they have it. So Aquaman is talking to, I guess, his mom's friend, kind of like his mentor in a sense. Outside of his dad, he has like another mentor, and he's telling him, man, you know, the mentor is telling him, you need to protect the world because you know it's a lot of stuff coming. So he was like, nah, I'm belong on Earth. Y'all problems. He's like, yeah, but if this happens, it's gonna destroy our world and your world. So you have to join the fight. You need to join the fight. And he has mommy issues, which I get because his mom abandoned him. Aquaman, I'm talking about. And so they end up telling him like, hey, look, man, just go here, and you'll find out that all this stuff, what's happening. Steppenwolf has been attacking some of our guards to get the mother box. You'll see. So Aquaman goes there. Steppenwolf's already there. He's like kicking butt, whooping A and taking names and all this kind of stuff. So it's a really cool fight scene underwater, and Mera is fighting Steppenwolf, and so it's a really cool sequence. Aquaman shows up, and he is not able to save them, so far, and it's really sad. But it is what it is. Steppenwolf gets the other mother box, and now Aquaman sees that I have to join these guys that I said I don't want to join. I need help. So at this point, there's so much with the story. At this point, Cyborg's dad gets stolen because now Steppenwolf is trying to find the last mother box. He ends up taking his dad because he smells of the mother box. You smell of technology or something like that. I don't know how that works. Aliens. So Cyborg is just like, hey man, I need some help to get my dad. So they all go and they try to save all these people that have been kidnapped by Steppenwolf. So it's Cyborg, it's Flash, it's Wonder Woman, and Batman. And this is all with them talking to Jim Gordon. This is the first time we see Batman 2 hours into the movie. This is the first time we see Batman suited up 2 hours and 5 minutes into the movie. A regular movie, that's where the movie ends. But oh my goodness, this is ridiculous that it's taking this long to see Batman. Anyway, so they go and they are going to save all the people. They save the folks, but they're being taken to task by fighting Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf is getting in their butt. You have Aquaman and Wonder Woman trying to, they're doing a pretty good job, but Steppenwolf is still kind of like a step ahead here and there, and he's a little bit too much for them. And this is the first time there you see the Justice League kind of working together, so it's cute, it's interesting. And Batman is doing this thing. He has his tech, and it's all good. But then they are basically about to die, and that's when Aquaman shows up, and he kind of saves them from drowning to death or something like that. So Aquaman is finally joining the team. So now you have Justice League is really forming now. And with all of that happening, so that happens. What else happens after that? Oh, they decide now that they're together. They're like, hey, look, we just fought Steppenwolf, and it's tough. I don't know if we can beat this guy. So we need Superman. And this is where there's another difference between the Snyder cut and the Whedon cut. Where in the Whedon cut, Batman came up with the idea of let's bring back Superman with the mother box, because Cyborg tells him about the mother box, tells him why it's important, how it works, and all this stuff. And it was like, oh, it can basically reanimate cells, bring them back to life in a sense, or space technical advanced technology jargon. And so all of that is happening, and basically Batman had the idea like, oh, we can bring Superman back, because, and this is the thing where I did like Whedon's version better in that aspect, because Batman had he was focused in the sense of making amends. Like I basically, I'm the reason Superman died. There was a reason. Superman probably wouldn't have died if it hadn't been for me. I was so focused on bringing him down, I didn't see that we were being manipulated. And that ended up bringing about Doomsday, which ended up killing Superman, which now we have this even bigger threat coming. And it all started from me being so different from how I started out as a superhero. I became so jaded and so miserable that I wanted to just kill Superman, and that's all I wanted. So I like that aspect of redemption. He was on this path of redemption. No, we need to bring Superman back because I killed him, whatever, and we need him. We need him. This was the whole thing that Batman was saying. In the Snyder cut, it was basically like they just happened to stumble, like, oh wait, like Flash was just like, oh, am I gonna say it? Am I gonna? Oh wait, we can bring Superman back. We can bring him back. Should we do it? Should we do it? I don't think we should do it. Should we do it? Maybe we should do it. So it was kind of just like a group discussion, and Cyborg and Flash came up with the idea instead of Batman. So I mean, it was fine, but I think it was better with Batman having that drive to like, no, we need to use this to bring him back. because he felt bad, because it was like, it was my fault. We need to bring him back. I want to right the wrongs that I've created. So that gave him like more of a drive to me. But again, like, this is what happened in the Snyder Cut. So cool. They go and dig up Superman's body. I think the difference in this one too is there was some humor between Flash and Cyborg, but I think the dialogue was different in the Whedon cut. But it is what it is. I don't really prefer one or the other, so whatever. So they get Superman's body, they go back to the Kryptonian ship, and they immerse his body into the liquid. And Cyborg tells Flash he needs his spark, his speed, basically current, whatever, to supercharge the mother box to bring Superman back. They do that. Superman is back, but he's different. He's not necessarily the same, But I mean, overall, like, Superman is just like he's been brought back to life. He doesn't know what's happening. His brain is trying to catch back up to what's going on. So he sees everybody, and for some reason, Batman isn't there yet. I guess they left Batman. I don't know what happened. Batman's trying to catch. He's running instead of Batman flying there. He's just like, I'll catch up with you, and he's running behind him. So Cyborg, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Flash is there, and Superman is looking at him. But he doesn't recognize any of them. I can definitely understand him not recognizing Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman because he's never seen them before. Wonder Woman, yes, but he's still just looking at him like, who are y'all? And then Cyborg perceives a threat due to his tech, which makes sense, and he accidentally shoots at Superman because his tech is just trying to protect itself. Superman is definitely now pissed off, and he basically beats up those Justice League members. None of them can take him on. Barely Wonder Woman. And actually, I don't even like the idea that Aquaman can't really put a dent into this dude, but Wonder Woman was kind of able to hold him a little bit, but not really. But it was just like, hey, man, like, Aquaman is strong too. So I still kind of feel as though that's kind of messed up, but whatever. He beats them all up. Batman finally shows up, and this is where there's a difference with this too, because he almost kills Batman, but Lois just happens to be there. Oh, that's the part I forgot. So Lois, they've been kind of showing Lois here and there. Lois was at her apartment, I guess, where her Superman used to live. She's sad that Superman's now gone, and she's missing him. She's looking at the ring that I guess he gave her because he proposed to her, and she was gonna say yes, and but she never got a chance to. And then she opens up the drawer, I guess, where we see that there's a pregnancy test or something like that. So I guess she's pregnant. I don't know. So so we go from there to later on, fast forward somewhere in this movie when this happened, because so much is going on, that Martha shows up. Martha shows up and talks to Lois, says Lois just hasn't been out. She hasn't been back to work. She's been like, I've been trying to find her. They said you haven't showed up at work for a long time. And Lois like, yeah, but just, he's gone and it's hard to move forward in life and yada, 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 yada. And they just have a heart-to-heart, woman-to-woman talk. And Martha encourages her, like, hey, look, just go back to work. The world needs you. Whatever, and Clark would want you to go about living your life. So it's all right, cool. So Martha leaves out, and as she leaves out, now this is the difference between what happened in the Whedon cut and the Snyder cut. In the Whedon cut, she just left, right? She encourages her to get back in not in the game of dating, but just in the game of life. Get back in the game of life. But in this one, Martha transformed into this green dude. Now, if you're a DC fan, you know who he is. We all know who this guy is. Martian Manhunter. But if you're just a regular audience member, who is this? Who is this green person? Is he somebody that, I guess, well, he should be a friend, right? Because Martian Manhunter was just like, yeah, we need you, Lois, out there. But I'm just sitting there thinking, like, need her for what? What is the purpose of Martian Manhunter getting Lois back in the game? Like, does he know that she is the key to Superman? But the only person that kind of knew that was Batman and Wonder Woman, and I guess future Flash. So it was like, how would Martian Manhunter know that she's the key? I don't know. I mean, if any of you know, leave a comment and let me know. But that part doesn't make sense to me. I can see Martian Manhunter talking to the other heroes, but why would he talk to Lois? Like, what? How can Lois help against Steppenwolf and Darkseid? Like, I don't know. Like, unless he knows, but like, how would he have the information that she's the key? And also another difference in this one. So, okay, now with all of that being said, and Martian Manhunter, for those who don't know, Martian Manhunter is the general from Man of Steel, the black dude, the general that talks to Superman, and Superman destroyed his drone and all this stuff. So that's who this guy is. So this guy has been parading around as the general this entire time when the world has been kind of threatened here and there, and he just never thought to show up until now to talk to Lois, to get Lois back into the game, because the world needs Lois to write articles at the Daily Planet or something. I don't know. That part didn't make much sense to me. Again, if this makes sense to you, leave your comments there. But yeah. So anyway, fast forward to Lois just happens to be in the area because I guess she's looking at Superman's statue one last time, and she's just gonna get back in the game. So this is when she sees Superman beating everybody up, and she goes and he almost kills Batman, and she intervenes like, Batman, no, I mean Superman, no, let's just get out of here. Which that part makes sense. I don't know if I heard that in the Whedon's cut, to where she was just like, let's just go, let's get out of here. I appreciated that in this Snyder cut. But I think that, so this is where the difference is. In the Whedon cut, Batman realized, wait, no, Lois is the key. So if Superman doesn't recognize us, if this brings him back and makes him go crazy, we need Lois because she's the key. But that is very Batman-esque of him. That's Batman to think ahead. Batman is a chess player, right? That's who Batman is. Batman preps. He is the master of prep work, prep time, just in case, because if this dude kills me, I need some kind of a backup just in case he kills. This Batman in the Snyder cut, he was just like, Clark, please. And then also I wanted to point out, there was like soldiers nearby, right? When Lois ran up, Clark, no. And I was just like, they're so, they can hear you. Wait, did she say Clark? Clark as in Clark. Doesn't somebody work with her name Clark? Like Clark Kent? You know, he does look like Clark. Is that Clark Kent? Oh shit, Superman is Clark Kent. That didn't make sense. That was stupid. Again, attention to details. I think like Zack Snyder just like kind of rushing stuff, and he's not really thinking these certain things through. You know, so I don't know. But anyway, that's my complaint there. And so Superman flies him off, and he's slowly starting to get his memory back. And I think his mom comes up, and they all hug. It's a beautiful moment, and everything is great. Like, you know, Superman is back finally. He's finally get his memory back, and he sees everything. So he flies off and does this thing. He goes to the ship to try to figure out what he's gonna do. It's because, you know, it was like there's a monster coming to destroy the world, and I have to help stop it. So the Justice League now that they've gotten like beat up and stuff, while they were distracted getting beat up by Superman, Steppenwolf comes and grabs the last mother box, the third mother box, since it was blasted out of, you know, reanimating Superman, and it landed on a car somewhere. So Steppenwolf came, grabbed it, bye, and he's out of there. So just like, damn, he got all three mother boxes. So what are we gonna do? So now they're at least they were able to finally figure out where Steppenwolf is. Also, like during all of this stuff, oh no, his dad grabbed a mother box. That's what it was. Sorry, his dad, Cyborg's dad, grabbed a mother box. He saw it, which I thought this was better than the Whedon cut, because I think in the Whedon cut he just grabbed a mother box and dipped out. Snyder cut, Cyborg's dad sees the mother box and, oh, let me grab it before anybody else, you know, gets their hands on it, and he tries to go back, take it back to the lab. And he's trying to do something, trying to destroy the box, so it seems. So Steppenwolf comes down there, he's tearing stuff up, like, give me the mother box. And, you know, Cyborg finally goes and tries to stop Steppenwolf from attacking his dad, but he smacks Cyborg out the way like a fly. He says, man, get out of my face. And Cyborg sees his dad basically damn near sacrifice himself, and he disintegrates himself to try to destroy the mother box. Doesn't work, of course. Steppenwolf grabs the mother box and he's out. So Cyborg is torn apart. The other Justice League members are trying to figure out what to do. Man, he got all three mother boxes. We can't stop him. Now, how are we going to stop him? And where can we even find where he is? So Cyborg, being as smart as he is, because at first he thinks his dad, you know, just tried to destroy the mother. He's like, no, my dad was trying to mark the mother box, but he sacrificed himself doing so. So it's like, okay, I know where we can find the mother box. They find a location. Batman has a plan to basically, in a sense, sacrifice himself just so that the other Justice League members can attack Steppenwolf. So he's like, I'm gonna bring down the defense tower or the grid of where Steppenwolf is. You know, I'm gonna attack it to where it kind of recedes. It's almost like in space where, or even like Independence Day. You know, when they, hey, let's keep zapping the shield to where it gets weak and we can fly through that weakened hole. So that's basically what Batman did. And, you know, brought down the entire defense hold, and the Justice League members were able to go in. And basically, he was going to die at this point because all the parademons were attacking him. And this is Batman against a few parademons, fine. But all the parademons attacking this dude? No. This is it. He's still human. You know, he's dope, but he's still a human. So, Batman ends up about to die, and he's just like, no, go on without me. They save him anyway. So this is another difference between the Snyder cut and the Whedon cut. I mean, the same thing happens, but the intentions were different. In the Snyder cut, Batman just gonna sacrifice himself so that the other heroes can just stop Steppenwolf. In the Whedon cut, he's sacrificing himself so that the other Justice League members stop Steppenwolf, and also as redemption, because like I brought this upon the world. I deserve to die because I helped Superman die, in a sense. So, which I felt like that was a little bit more, I mean, both are admirable, but there was more context and more meaning behind that in the Whedon cut. So everything basically is going as planned. I think Superman finally comes. Now we see Superman in the ship, and Superman is going through, he's hearing his dad, Jor-El, his original dad, talking to him and telling him, reminding him like, hey, you know, you are the light to the world, and you show them, lead them, show them the way, and all this other stuff. And then we hear his other coward human father, who is a fake Jonathan Kent, that I feel like, because his, you know, remember his dad told him, remember, it's like, well, Dad, what am I supposed to do? Let him die? And he was just like, maybe. What? Jonathan Kent would never tell Clark to let humans die. Not like that. It just anyway. So he hears both of his fathers, and he comes to a decision. He sees all these different suits behind him. I think one is like the Zod suit, the general outfit, I think. And then we see his original Superman suit, and we see some other stuff. And he ends up choosing the black and silver suit, which is cool, by the way. I would definitely say that outfit is pretty cool. Why he chose this suit, I don't really know why. There was no real context into why he chose this suit. But I mean, it's a cool suit, you know, so I like it. Let me see if I can bring up that suit. Anyway, he chose a black and white suit, and then he goes and talks to Alfred, I guess, to try to figure out where everybody else is. And so that was pretty cool, I guess. But anyway, he finally goes and figured out where they are. I mean, they're over there fighting Steppenwolf. Cyborg is trying to crack into the mother box. Now, I will say this, like all of this, now this is very different, basically, with Superman having a black suit, Superman going to talk to Alfred, because we saw that in the trailer, but we never got that in the movie. So that's the part where I'm actually glad we finally got this context in this movie, to where we actually see Superman in a black and silver and white suit. Dope, by the way. And he's talking to Alfred. He's back to himself, and he ends up going to try to help the Justice League. And we also see a very extended scene of the fight scene between them and Steppenwolf. And also, I will say that Wonder Woman and Aquaman taking on Steppenwolf, this fight scene was so much better than the one in the Whedon cut, because they were actually putting more of a fight, you know, and giving it to Steppenwolf a little bit more than they were giving in the Whedon cut. In the Whedon cut, Steppenwolf was just kind of just like smacking him around, and they were trying to parry here and there, but they couldn't really do anything to him. But they were really distracting him this time from keeping him away from Cyborg. Now we got like a little bit more context. Cyborg is trying to separate the mother boxes, and he needs Flash now, because in the Whedon cut, Flash was trying to save some nearby civilians in the area. In the Snyder cut, there are no civilians nearby. They're just completely focused on the task at hand. So Cyborg is just like running all the way around and trying to build up all this speed so that he can, I guess, give Cyborg a supercharge in order to enter into the mother box, and where he'll be very vulnerable, and the mother box will try to use his own weaknesses against him and all of that. So while this happening, basically Steppenwolf finally gets to Cyborg, and he, is stopping Cyborg from really getting into the mother box. And Superman shows up. Superman comes and hooray! He comes in with his black suit and he starts whooping butt. And also, this is better than in the Whedon cut, because in the suit, well, okay, I will say that I liked that Superman in the Whedon cut. I liked that Superman was more of the Boy Scout thing, even though some of the words he said was cheesy, but it was getting him back to how he originally was, how Superman is. He's very heroic. He stands for something, truth, justice, and the American way, or whatever. So all of that stuff. I'm a huge Superman fan, as you can see. But I did like that. But the thing I didn't like in the Whedon cut was that Superman was just basically just smacking him around like it was nothing. It was just, oh, hey, you guys are having trouble with this guy? Actually, Flash needs some help. I'll be right back. And then he zipped off to help Flash while Aquaman and Wonder Woman was just still struggling with this dude. So I didn't like that in the Whedon cut, because it was basically like, in that they just showed that Superman didn't need the Justice League whatsoever. It was like, so what was the point of having a Justice League? So that's the thing I didn't like in the Whedon cut. In the Snyder cut, Superman still overpowered Steppenwolf, and he was beating the crap out of Steppenwolf, but it was more of a team effort. They were like all, sharing like, hey, I'm gonna punch him a few times. I almost thought for a second, because he was really breaking the armor off of Steppenwolf's face, and I think he cut off his horn, because that was actually a part of him. That hurt. I felt bad for Steppenwolf a little bit, and I was sitting there thinking like, oh man, because he kept punching him. I was sitting there thinking like, oh man, is this like Superman going dark? But they didn't really take it there. So it was like all of them taking turns beating him. But Steppenwolf finally was able. Oh no, the mother box is synced, because Cyborg was trying to tell Flash to come, but it was too late. The world basically terraformed, and I guess there was an explosion, and it killed Superman. It killed everybody. I guess there was within the explosion. So the world was basically destroyed. Steppenwolf has achieved his goal, and Flash, I guess he phased through that explosion, so he was able to still be around, So and that was cool. So he was just kind of like randomly in space in a sense somewhere, and he was able to, because he still built up his energy, he was able to rewind time, because he mentioned that before, which was great context, by the way. Like I mentioned that before, good callback. So he ends up doing that, and he rewinds time to where you see Superman got destroyed, because you see the skeletons and stuff, all of it coming back. That was a really cool scene. I'll give him that. One thing I didn't really like, and it's just a minor thing, I don't like the way that Flash runs, because it looks really lame and weird, because he has like this noodle kind of thing. He's running like this, and it's just like, why are you running like that? Why just run? I'd rather see like how the Flash runs on a CW. It's perfect. Just run. Just run like that. I don't know why you gotta do this noodle thing. It's just like, what is that? That's kind of lame. But anyway, he ends up rewinding time back. Finally gets Cyborg back to the point to where right before the mother box is synced, zaps Cyborg into the mother box. Cyborg is the mother box kind of takes shape of, well, the sentience or whatever, the inside the mother box is take shape of his parents, and it's, hey, we can all take it, we can get you back to normal, which is tempting. It's like, hey, we can bring everything back, we can get you back to normal, you don't have to live like this. And I was sitting there thinking like, man, that is a really good offer, just for anybody. I was like, man, that's very tempting offer. But he was just like, nope. Like, I am who I am, or whatever. I don't know what he said. I forgot. It's a 4-hour movie. So he rips them apart, basically saves Earth. And at this point, Steppenwolf is like, no. And Superman, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman all team up on Steppenwolf, and Superman punches him. Aquaman does something with his trident or whatever, and Wonder Woman cuts his head off. And this is all while we see Darkseid, because the portal opened up, because Darkseid thought that he was about to walk over. And yeah, that definitely did not happen. So Darkseid saw Steppenwolf lose the battle against this ragtag team of superheroes. Well, they're not ragtag. They're actually pretty dope. But he sees all of this happen, and he's frustrated. He is upset. That is Darkseid. That is Decide, his second in command, to the left of him right there, and to the right, Mother May I forgot her name. She's grandmother something, Granny Stone. I don't know. Leave a comment if you know what her name is. I forgot. But these are basically like Darkseid and his crew, and he sees all this happening. He's not happy about this, and so so the portal closes, and he just steps on Steppenwolf's head, squishes it, which is, man, like, ooh, it's he really just like, he's pissed off. So Decide asks him, like, oh, so what we're gonna do? He's like, man, okay, we're gonna go back to the old ways, because now the mother boxes are basically, I guess, done for at this point. Cyborg completely destroyed the mother boxes. I think at this point. And so Darkseid said, we're gonna go back to the old ways. And now that we know where it is, we know it's on Earth, and I know where the anti-life equation is. I need it, so I can really, it could be of use to me. We can go there. Also, I just want to kind of know, they didn't really put any context of what the anti-life equation does. What does it do? What does it? I mean, I have an idea that it helps Superman. He can basically turn Superman's and have him be under his control. But what does it do per se? And they never really explained it. So I feel like that was an issue in a sense. But anyway, I'll talk about that a little bit later. So the world is saved, and the Justice League, they got together and they did it. Flash was definitely more of a big help in this than in the last films, because it was really a team effort. So that was really cool to see all of them really team up and just team do it. So I liked it. So you have all of them being just superheroic there. They're just happy. Yeah, we saved the day. And Superman with his black outfit. I don't know why he's wearing a black outfit. It looks cool though, so I like it. No explanation as to why he chose that, but whatever. So it goes from that to what happens after that. Oh man, like I said, this is a 4-hour movie. Life goes back to normal. Well, yeah, Lex Luthor escapes from jail. Almost in a sense, kind of like a Jokerish kind of way, because the dude that he thought was Lex was somebody else, and he starts laughing. So they still kind of haven't escaped that, discount Joker kind of tactic, that Joker uses typically. That's Joker's thing. He has somebody that acts like him, and they turn around and start laughing. So that was okay. That was fine. But we see that Lex is somewhere outside on a yacht somewhere, and he's dressed up in his Lex suit. I guess his typical classic white suit. And Deathstroke shows up, and Deathstroke is talking to him like, hey man, why am I here? What money you got for me? He basically said, I got something that's better than money. I can get you Batman. He was like, okay, well, we got beef anyway. I got beef with him, so what's up? Like, what, you gonna have to pay me a lot to go after Batman? He was like, no, I got something for you. I'll give you his name. Batman is Bruce Wayne. It's like, oh shit, like, why would Lex do that? Also, I just kind of wondering, like, what do you have against Batman at this point? I thought you hated Superman. So I don't know. That's confusing to me. I mean, but maybe he's just like, oh, I don't like that, because Superman is back, the savior, and he's just like, oh, they teamed up. So now I'm just being petty, and I want you to take down Batman. I mean, what made more sense to me is if he got somebody to take down Superman. Like if he got what's the guy's name with the kryptonite in his suit? Metallo. If he got Metallo, if he got Metallo to take down Superman, that would have made more sense, because it's like I just really hate Superman. I don't like Batman, but I hate Superman. So I'm gonna get Metallo this time. But it's interesting. I will say that's really cool. That's better, because that's different than a Whedon cut. Because the Whedon cut, he was just like, hey, we're gonna form a team or whatever. Basically, I forgot whatever the name of that team is. The Legion of Doom. Yeah, I think that's them. They're gonna form the Legion of Doom at this point. But in the Snyder cut, it's just like, I'm just give you Batman's real name. I was like, dang man, this dude is a dick. So whatever. So, but it is cool, because I was like, dang, that would have been really interesting to see the Batman film that Ben Affleck was going to be in going against Deathstroke. Not only were you going to see like some crazy action, some martial arts, fighting back and forth, but this dude knows your name. That's wow. So that would have been a great film, I think, that Ben Affleck could have been in. Are we still going to get it? Probably not. but what could have been, So goes from that to now. I think Batman is having another nightmare, a nightmare with a K. So he wakes up from. Well, no, he's in this nightmare of his. Wonder Woman is dead. Wonder Woman has been killed by Darkseid, I suppose. Aquaman is dead, and Batman is teaming up with Mera, who is Aquaman's kind of like lover or something like that, or a potential lover in the future. And there's Cyborg. Cyborg looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame in his cloak. I don't know why, but we find out in a little bit. And there's Deathstroke, which is interesting. It's like, wait, I thought they were enemies. What's happening here? And then there's one more person that they show, and it's Joker. So that's happening, and I will say, as interested as I was about how this was going to turn out, I didn't like it. The writing, the dialogue between him and the Joker was trash. It was absolutely horrible. It made it seem like an indie filmmaker wrote it. I mean, there was no new context given. The only new context given out of this scene was that Harley died. That's it. And for whatever reason, Joker is needed to take on Superman and Darkseid. Because I guess Lois died. We did find that out prior to him talking to Joker. Lois died, so I guess Superman freaked out, and he's more susceptible to being on Darkseid's side at this point. And they just didn't add any new concepts. Like he mentioned Robin, which Batman got upset. He's like, hey, be careful what you're gonna say next. Joker said it anyway. He was like, yeah, how did it feel when he died in your arms? But my whole thing was like, oh, are we gonna get like some really new information? Because we didn't, some people were speculating, and it's like, oh, did this Joker? Because this Joker does seem a lot younger than this older grizzled Batman. Because in reality, in the comics, they're typically like kind of around the same age, in a sense. So I didn't, my idea was that, oh, this Joker very well could be Jason Todd or whoever that Robin is that died. So maybe in a sense, like he died, but not literally. Like he's still alive, but now he's the new Joker because older Joker maybe had died. That was my speculation. But in this, they didn't even give any context. They were like, yeah, your Robin died. And then Batman mentioned that, yeah, Harley died. And I promised her that I'd kill you very, very slow. And Joker like, all right, so a truce. I give you a card. And, as long as you have this card, we're on the same side. If you tear it, then I know what it is. And it's just like, when have y'all ever been on the same? What? So what are you doing here now? Like that makes no sense, right? I mean, because that conversation between them probably should have been had before they came to that place. So you're gonna come with me over to, we're basically right at the doorstep of Darkseid and Superman. And now you're gonna give me a card to say a truce. What? How does that even make sense? And then with Jared Leto's horrible Joker laugh, it was just it was disgusting. It was nasty. It was not necessary. It wasn't needed. It seemed like I said, like a freshman to sophomore college student wrote this scene because the dialogue was just bad. It didn't make any sense. Like it didn't add anything new to the conversation. So that was very not needed. But anyway, Bruce wakes up from this nightmare, and next thing you know, Martian Manhunter shows up, the same green guy we saw earlier. And he shows up and he tells him like, hey, there's going to be a war coming. And basically he just tells him like, hey, I'll be around, the next time around. I'll give you a call. Basically, not even saying like this is how you reach me. I'll give you a call. And I was like, what do I call you? And he kind of ignored it for a second. And like, some people call me, what do you say, like Martian Manhunter? Because he does have a name, John Johns, but it was as cool as that was supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be a very cool moment. I have issues because it's just like, yo, where the hell have you been this entire time? When Zod attacked Earth, where were you? When Wonder Woman, remember Wonder Woman 1984? If we saw that, this dude was wishing all across the planet, and he was basically about to tear the whole planet apart. Where were you? This is 2 different times the whole world was going to be destroyed. And this dude is just like, nope. And then the world was basically destroyed. Well, now it was fully destroyed in this movie because Flash had to rewind back time just to save the world. Dude, like you could have been needed. Like this whole thing. It took this entire movie. You showed up in the middle of the movie for regular audience members. Where were you? Like why? Like what stopped you from showing up to help them? You should have been with the team. You could have helped them out. You would have been a huge help. This dude phases through things. And for those who don't know, what does Martian Manhunter do? Martian Manhunter has super strength. He can fly. He has he can communicate. He's basically like Professor X. He can talk to people's minds. He can connect with everybody's mind. So when they were using all of this tech that Batman had, the comm links and all this stuff, and the comm link wasn't working, he turned the comm link off. Martian Manhunter could have connected everybody so that they can mentally talk to each other. He wasn't there. He was not there. The world ended. The world was destroyed, and Martian Manhunter was not around. Martian Manhunter decided to show up. Hey, man. Woo, man. I could probably help y'all out. I've been wilding over these past few decades. I've been wilding out. I could have helped this entire time. When Doomsday. I forgot about Doomsday. He could have showed up then. He didn't even. He was hit him with the missile, and he almost killed Superman. You couldn't show up then. You couldn't show up to help them out. This monster was gonna could have destroyed the whole world. You didn't even show up. Trash. You trash. You a trash person, and this is trash writing, trash storytelling. Anyway, that being said, that was the movie. Justice League. Yeah. So Zack Snyder's Justice League. So that's a story. Man, an hour and 11 minutes of trying to wrap this story up. It was a 4-hour film though, so there was a lot to touch on. That being said, I'm going to get right into what I thought about because there was a lot. Straight into acting and casting. What do I think about it? For the most part, the acting was cool. I think because of everything that Zack was doing, that the acting could have been better here and there. Like, what's his name as Commissioner Gordon? I forgot his name. I like him as an actor too. He wasn't that great as Commissioner Gordon. It seemed like a bad cat. Not that he couldn't act, but it seemed like he was bringing like a little bit too much silliness to the Commissioner Gordon role in a sense here and there. It just didn't have as much depth as like the previous in the Dark Knight trilogy, the previous James Gordon had. Not that he needed to be that, but I felt like it could have been just a little bit more serious, and it just seemed out of place. It seemed like this dude just came from Marvel, like, oh, let me take my J. Jonah Jameson hat off, and I'm Commissioner Gordon. Still kind of J. Jonah Jameson because I'm still doing all these weird faces and stuff. So that was weird to me. But anyway, that being said, he wasn't that great. Gal Gadot, her acting has already kind of been like here and there. But on top of that, with her acting, and I don't think she's an okay casting person for this, but you have a lot of women who are in shape who actually work out and that are buff, but she didn't do it for me in that sense, especially in this film when you're around so many other people who are buff. It just doesn't seem believable. Also, when you have all these other Amazonian women who are muscular, and you just have this stick running around, and she's stronger than all of them though. Like that's not good casting. And going to her acting is decent here and there. Like here and there, kind of took me out. Her acting. Like, I think when Cyborg was saying something to her, just to have his resolve, like, no, I gotta take apart these mother boxes. As an actor myself, it seemed like she didn't really absorb that information. She was just like, or whatever. She didn't even make that face. It was just like, okay, he said words. It wasn't good. So I didn't like the acting with that. Everybody else was fine. Great job to everybody else, but with that, and also bad casting in regards to Jared Leto, because you brought Jared Leto back into this. Bad casting on that end is just not good. I'm not saying he's not good in general, but he's just not good as Joker. Mark Zuckerberg, I think that's his name, who is Lex Luthor in this. Or no, I don't know, whatever his name is. The guy that plays Lex Luthor in this. He was not good. He's just not good. I mean, he's a decent actor, but not as Lex Luthor. That's bad casting. Horrible casting. So I basically give that. What was my breakdown for that bad casting? I give it 2.5 reels. That was not good for. I mean, I think 3 reels is good, but this was just like okay. Sorry. I mean, the acting was good, but those people, I felt like really brought it down. And also, I kind of blame Zack Snyder as a director because the way that he kind of he emphasized more so of the visuals than really the acting and some of the stuff that they were saying. But that goes into the story and writing. So some of the actors I can't really blame. I can kind of blame the director on that too. So it's maybe like a mixture. So to go from acting and casting, go straight into the story. What I think about the story, I kind of already told you. Like the story overall was good. This had more context. So I definitely appreciate the Snyder Cut having a lot more context because we didn't have this context before. And I think that was really great to have this context. But I also feel like this could have been this would have been better as episodes, right? If this was broken up in episodes, like how they were going to do it, I probably would have been able to, I wouldn't be judging it so harshly, but because this is an entire movie, I just feel like the story-wise, even though this gave more context, so this is a much better film in that sense, but overall, like so much stuff was rushed. There's still a lot of information that could have been explained more. Martian Manhunter, some of that stuff could have been like, that just doesn't make sense story-wise anyway. I mean, if I just like whatever, but I mean, think about it as a regular audience member and you're seeing this, who is this person? Why do I even care? Where have you been with everything that has happened? Like, where have you been? Even when Wonder Woman, even in the first Wonder Woman movie, when she was going against the god of war, where was he? Where were you? You could have showed up anytime during this to show your face or whatever, but you're just hiding this entire time until no, the world is finally destroyed. All right, I'm coming out. And it's just like, man, that was bad. That's bad. That's bad storytelling. I think that Batman was cool in this as a story. I mean, everything was dark, and I know we all know that the DC like animated films, like all of them are darker, but it's just because it's darker, like Superman lost his hope, lost the thing that made him hopeful. I mean, and if you look back at the Man of Steel, like he snapped somebody's neck in the Man of Steel, that's not the thing that Superman does. I can see him, even if you wanted him to snap somebody's neck, have us grow to like him first and to really get into the role that I feel like this is who I am. But maybe in a second movie, like because I feel like he really needed a second movie, not Batman v Superman, but a second solo movie on his own, so that way we can still get to know him better, and also to stretch out him and Lois being together. So maybe in the second movie, him and Lois are finally together. Now they get together. She finds out a secret, and then you put him in that corner to where he has to kill this person. So that tears him apart. He's torn. But then you have like Superman and Batman v Superman, where he is just kind of like he doesn't care. They're trying to hold him accountable, and he's just like, man, whatever. But he's also over there trying to tell Batman, you can't be doing what you're doing, even though he just got finished killing a lot of people, and it's just like, what? So it doesn't make sense. It's just kind of like, I'll show you basically what this kind of looks like. This is basically, okay, let me see if I can pop this up. Like Superman trying to call out Batman for the stuff, even though Batman was wrong for what he did. But this is just what it seems like. Hey, you shouldn't be killing somebody. You shouldn't be killing people. You kill people. But you kill people. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what is the pot calling the kettle black? Bad storytelling. So just like that doesn't make much sense. So outside of that, like the story was fine. I mean, there's parts that I liked a lot about the Snyder Cut, but there's other parts that I didn't. Of course, I didn't like about the Snyder Cut because I felt like this should have been broken up into. Everything was compacted. It basically put like 3 movies into one, and you lose a lot of the context, a lot of the details around it. So I felt like that definitely is a problem. So sorry. With all of this said, I will give this story. I mean, and also, well, lastly, I think there were some parts in the Whedon cut that I liked, but also some parts in the Whedon cut I didn't like. So both of them, there's some things I liked, other things I didn't like. So yeah, it is what it is, with that. So I will give this overall 3 reels. 3 reels because it was just okay. It was good. It was good. But it could have been better. I think he could have done a much better job with all of that. Snyder, he needed another look over. I think a friend of mine was just saying, it seemed like he just turned in the first rough draft and that was it. And I just felt like it could have been better. So going from the story into budgeting and marketing, it was good. Word of mouth. I mean, that's the thing that got this whole thing going. Zack Snyder cut. All that's great. I don't want to say too much about it. I mean, there were some parts, I think, like the Martian Manhunter, the effects weren't that great there. When he was in the hallway, it kind of looked cheap. But also, he probably didn't have too much of a budget that WB was going to give him. But overall, it was good. It was good. I'll give him that. And I will give the marketing and budgeting, just because so many people, this was brought back from the brinks of death. I'll give that 4 reels. Sorry, 4 reels. My mind is all over the place. So I'll give it 4 reels. And overall, with everything that we have so far, what do I give this entire thing? Like, what do I give it? So with all that being said, Monkey, I need a drum roll, please. Thank you, Monkey. As always, you're coming in to save the day. All right. So overall, what I give this 3 reels. If you average all that together, I give this whole movie 3 reels. It's good. It's not horrible. I mean, because it got more context. It's much better than the Whedon's theatrical cut. It's very long. Are there some problems with it? Yeah, for sure. Do I want to see more of Zack Snyder going? No, hell no. I don't know. Keep Zack Snyder away from, because I've read what he was going to do with the other films. No, I don't want to see any more of that. Let somebody come in and actually plan out and actually have better writing going forward, because you also have Shazam and you have all these other characters that you haven't used yet. So I feel like these can definitely be they can be implemented into this world. Have somebody like with an actual vision that and this isn't just for DC fans. And I say, I am a DC fan. I'm a huge DC fan, but we have to think about the audience, the main, because you want to make money. I don't want to just pump money into this thing just to only get these fans. If I can get the hardcore fans and get the main audience, I want to get them in too. So remember what I said about Martian Manhunter. That makes no sense as a regular audience member. Who is this person? I don't know who this person is. Are they a friend? Are they a foe? Also, where have they been? If you put all of this, you try to, we have more context, but then you have some other context. Some of this stuff doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So, it has some faults. It has a lot of faults, man. So I know a lot of people out here are saying, oh, man, this is best. I saw somebody say this is better than Endgame. Hell no. And I'm not even a Marvel fan like that, but it's not better than Endgame. Zack Snyder's Justice League is not better than Endgame. It's not. Let's just stop it. I mean, it's just not. It's not. Endgame was cool. I don't like, actually, but you know what? Okay, I would say that I would rather see Zack Snyder's Justice League than to see Endgame. But I guess as Endgame as a solo movie, because you really need to see Infinity War to see Endgame too, because that's more so that's basically a 4-hour movie. But so in that sense, if I'm just seeing Endgame by itself, no, I don't. I would rather see Zack Snyder's Justice League than Endgame. But I think just overall, Marvel just has been doing an amazing job. I'm not even a Marvel fan like that, but they're kicking butt. And I just think Warner Brothers need some kind of guidance like that. Plan out the next 5 years, and also there's nothing wrong with how they kind of ended. I wouldn't include that Joker stuff, like all of that nightmare where, still have Darkseid coming. Like he's coming. I would keep that part. Like the whole thing, like they kill Steppenwolf and All of that was great because that context was needed. And Darkseid is coming. He's ramping up to come to Earth to take on Superman, to take on Wonder Woman, to take on Aquaman, all of them. But we need some better guidance because whatever the Zack Snyder was going to do going forward with like Wonder Woman is dead and Aquaman's dead and he's teaming up with Deathstroke and Joker and Jared Leto's Joker. No, hell no. Flush that in the toilet. That's awful, especially Jared Leto's Joker. Please flush them in the toilet. So that part was really bad. And Martian Manhunter just not being around, that's stupid. That makes no sense. So with all that being said, that's my review of the Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's what I thought. What are your thoughts? What do you think? I appreciate y'all tuning in again. Make sure you hit the like button, you share this video. Also, if you want to contribute, you can contribute at my podcast to anchor.fm/real-review/support. Again, it's anchor.fm/real-review/support. If you give $1, you will end up, I can review one episode of you upon your request. And if $5, that'll be a movie upon your request. $10, that'll be a whole season of a TV show for the season upon your request. So definitely let me know whatever you like, or if you just want to contribute, just to contribute. If you just like, man, I appreciate what you do, I want to contribute, help you out. Here's $1. I appreciate it, because this takes a lot of work. All of this is my longest real review that I've done because it was a 4-hour film. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Hey man, I will see y'all later. My next real review should be on Falcon and Winter Soldier, so stay tuned. I'm getting ready for that, so we're gonna hop right back into Marvel and their show. So there we go. All right, love y'all. Peace. Remember, make sure to share this video, leave your comments, let me know what you thought. I love y'all. Have a great rest of the day. Peace.